Okay, one particular project was arising from media interest in the role and cost of energy and climate change policy that was designed to help decarbonise the UK towards a low carbon economy. The concern in the media was that the cost of these policies that are often put onto energy prices, particular electricity prices, were making heavy consumers of electricity, like steel and iron manufacturers in the UK, less competitive compared to their European counterparts, and therefore driving business away to those countries and elsewhere. We were approached by an NGO who were founders via pre-existing connections, the reputation the department already had, to try and dig down into this question as to whether this phenomenon was actually occurring. We engaged with them and via other connections with government departments in the UK, but also in Germany, Italy, and France to help them engage with the question and to help them provide us data, which they did because they had a particular interest in this question because partly of the media attention it had had. We worked with them via direct face-to-face meetings, also a series of workshops to help work out how we should tackle this question, what the best data sources would be. We worked on this for, I think, 2 or 3 months. It was quite a small project, as NGO projects tend to be. But we worked out that actually, in the end, the phenomenon of higher electricity prices due to low carbon policies actually wasn't correct for the UK, if you looked at it broader, more in the round. We engaged with the media quite heavily as this report was published, and with civil servants who hadn't initially been involved in the report to begin with. Once the report was published, we had a launch event which had significant media and policy interest. We followed that with private meetings with government departments in several government departments to address the question and answer questions they had to follow up after they'd read the report. We also had a mention of this work in a Westminster Hall debate, so that injected it into the political arena as well as the policy civil servant arena. It also spurred a much larger research project, this time funded by the UK government, to investigate the question in much more depth, which I believe at the moment is ongoing. The idea with this research project was to try and compare electricity prices between different sized industrial consumers of power in the UK, France, Germany, and Italy. We needed data on the basic energy costs of supply, so how much it would cost to buy the power on the wholesale market, how much the network costs, so things like transmission and distribution lines, which are recovered from power prices. And then we broke down the different recovery costs of various different energy and climate policies on these bills, on these prices. So that included things like the recovery costs of subsidies for renewable power and any compensation mechanisms from carbon pricing mechanisms that apply in the UK and across Europe. We then worked out what the effect to the average consumer would be and then compared them across the 3 countries to see actually which country, if it was the UK, had a higher power price than the others.